everyone. This is Judy Sleed. The play's the thing, and today I have a lovely playmate, Taylor Cohen. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, how are you?
So nice of you to come and play with me.
Of course, anytime.
Yes, and as we were discussing, we've known each other like for 12 years.
Yep, since I was 5. Yeah.
Since you were 5, well, you were very cute then, and you're very cute now.
Thank you.
And where are you now, and what grade are you in?
I'm in 12th grade at the Ross School. I'm a senior, so.
Is this the last year?
Yep, my last year, so.
Wow. And where are you going from there?
I just got into Tulane University.
You're kidding. Tulane, wow, that's
So-
in New Orleans.
So that's, I think that's where I'm going as of right now, so we'll see.
How come you picked that?
It was between Tulane and Miami, because I wanted a warm school near a city, and I just found out about Tulane and I was absolutely ecstatic. So I think I'm leaning towards Tulane, and I find out about Miami in February, and they'll make a decision then where I really want to go.
So what are you going to major in?
Probably business, and maybe minor in like philosophy or neuroscience, but it can change. You never know.
Yeah, of course.
Who knows?
You think you're good in business? I mean, business is like selling things, right?
Well, it depends. Like, there's business management or business marketing. So that's probably one of the 2 places I want to go into. There's also finance. Like, there's a lot of different smaller schools within the business school that you can major in.
So you'll be all alone because your family's here in the East End.
I know, it's far away.
Yeah, but at least they'll have some place to go to visit.
Yeah, New
right?
Orleans is fun.
Yeah, I've been to New Orleans once. We used to have relatives there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
and the
fun.
Mardi Gras and
You were there for Mardi Gras?
yes,
Oh,
and
wow.
I got all those trinkets and all that. That's great. So let's start from the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in New York City.
In New York City.
Yeah, Manhattan, and lived in New Jersey for 3 years, the first 3 years of my life. And then I moved to Westchester. My parents hated it. So we were building a house out here and moved here when I was 5, when I met you.
Oh yes, I remember that beautiful house.
Yeah.
That was, you waited until that was finished. I remember that's a beautiful house.
Yeah, so.
You still have it?
Yeah, it's my dad's house. He's living in it right
Yeah.
now. And that's where he started teaching me piano.
Yes. So you went to school out here in
Yeah.
the Hamptons,
Yes, Hampton Day School.
right? And you acquired a lot of friends?
When I was young, I was very shy, so I had no friends. Well, I might have had friends, but my mom was my best friend until about 4th grade, and then I became to have a lot of more friends and outgoing and more of who I am now.
And you have a younger brother who
Alex.
is adorable. And he's your best
Sometimes.
friend also, isn't he?
He's very helpful sometimes. He actually helped me with a lot of my project, and he's a little brother, so he can be annoying sometimes, but I love him.
Yeah, well, I remember when you were little, the 2 of you were very close.
We were 2 peas in a pod, yeah.
Yeah,
We did a lot of things together.
that's nice. I always find that nice. So you're doing a project now in your school. You're going to Ross School, and somehow we became acquainted again, and you decided to do a project on me.
Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at Ross we have something called the senior project, where each student, their senior year, picks something that they want to pursue and work with for their whole year, for the first 6 months of the school year. And so my friend, for example, is learning how to fly a plane, and I decided to do something close to heart. The Holocaust has always been something that has interested me, and I interviewed you and 4 other Holocaust survivors, and made a documentary and art installation, or is in the making of a documentary and art installation of like the memories and the stories that the survivors has to tell.
So you've been working on it now for how long?
I started in July, just kind of the thought process of what I really wanted to do with it. I knew that I wanted to do something with the Holocaust, but I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. And I thought, what was the best way to capture my story? And that was through interviews. So then I started finding Holocaust survivors, and I thought Judy Sleed would be, I didn't know you were actually until I had a conversation with my mom. And then I was like, I'm very close to you. I feel very comfortable talking to you about that, reaching out for your help. And that's how it started.
And you interviewed Luna. She just happened to be here from Florida that week. So you talked to her.
Yeah, that was very helpful.
And then you talked to Joan Kreisky.
Yeah.
Because she has...
Because her husband, Michael, had artwork based on the Holocaust. He had passed away a year ago, I believe.
Yes.
And so she was very helpful. I have one of her pieces now called Seeing is Believing. That will be in the art installation. So.
Is it hers or Michael
It's
Knigan?
Michael's.
Michael Knigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was there a 4th person you interviewed?
I interviewed Frank Kirshner. He lives up the island, and Lena Russo, who also lives up the island, who are good family friends with my grandparents. That's how I knew them, and they were very helpful. Lena's husband passed away, was somehow related to our family through marriage, so that's how we know her. She's very sweet. And Frank's wife is best friends with my grandmother, so I've known them for a while.
So you have your grandparents, both sets?
Yes. Well, my grandmother passed away last year, 2 years ago.
Which one?
My mom's mom.
Oh.
Yeah, she passed away 2 years in 2 days. Or in a week, it'll be.
And where does your grandfather live?
He lives in New Jersey.
And you're from your father's?
They live in Roslyn, up island.
Up the island?
Yeah.
Up the
Up the island.
And you have any other relatives? I think your mother has a sister.
My mom has a sister, one in the city and one in New Jersey. The other one is in...
Doesn't she have one out here?
They have a house out here. In the
Oh.
summer, they come out here. She's the one who lives in the city. But she's out here like on weekends, holidays, and...
So you're close to your relatives. That's nice.
Yeah, and then my dad's side of the family, most of them live in Roslyn or Jericho in the city, so I see them a lot too.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do about this project? Like you have a lot of, I know you took a lot of movies or tapes, whatever you're going to call it.
Interviews.
Interviews,
Yeah.
but on tape. And so how long, you said it's going to be presented in January.
Yeah, so I'll have a film night it'll probably be 25-minute documentary with 4 of the interviews. Yeah, 4 or 5 of the interviews. I don't know if there's 5. 5 interviews. And that will be on one of the nights. And then the next night we have an art installation. I have an art installation, and we have a gallery opening where each kid who has artwork or some other kind of media presentation that gets shown in the gallery will be presented that night, the next night, which is, I think, January 15th. So I will be there for both nights, one to show my documentary and one to present my art installation.
Are there going to be any judges?
No, but a week later, we have our presentations where we talk about our process, what we did, and we get graded on that, how much we've put our effort into it, and like that kind of process, what we've been doing with our time management, how successful it was, and that's what we get graded on.
And do you think this would lead you to do something else?
In what sense? Like,
Well, if you would want to continue in filming things.
well, along the way, I found maybe not filming per se, like actually being the person who holds the camera. I'm not really technological that way. I had my brother help me with a lot of those things, as well as other students from Ross and teachers. But maybe in the industry, I like it a lot, but it would have to be a specific kind of, not just the film industry in itself, but if it has, like the Holocaust is what made me want to do this. So if I had like a feel, like a, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but like a subject that I really wanted to be interested in, and like, then I would get into that industry for that subject. Like, I like doing what I feel is important. Like, sharing this information about the Holocaust is something that I found important, and that's why I wanted to make a film about it. So if I found like another thing that I wanted to show people, then in that case, I would want to take it to.
So it was the subject that was important to you.
Yeah, definitely. That's what motivated me to make the film.
Can I ask you what motivated you to do that? How come you picked that?
The Holocaust?
Yeah.
I was in Israel 2 years ago.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. And the first place I went to was Jerusalem. And I just felt very, like, comfortable in Israel, like very peaceful in a way, even though there was men who had guns all the time, and like there was army men. I just felt very safe there for some reason. I don't know if it was my Jewish heritage or I didn't know Israel that well, but I realized that Israel would not exist, like Jews would not exist if the Holocaust was something that, if there was no survivors left, and I would not exist. And it was a lot about my existence and my people's existence and the community feel that I got with the Jews. And I think a lot of that community feel was brought on because Jews have lived throughout history such a tenuous existence. And I think that's what motivated me to do it the most, was we always come back somehow. Like, we always overcome with all the struggles that we are given each time.
Oh, that's amazing. So you were there a few years ago. How long were you in Israel?
I was there for a month in summer. I worked with the Israeli army.
Wow. How did that come about?
Well, the first week we were not allowed to shower, and we learned how to shoot M16 guns, which I hate. I don't ever want to shoot a gun ever again in my life. But we learned to live like the soldiers did. We lived in tents.
What came over? Did you join a group that you,
Yeah.
What?
It was a summer program for students around the world who half the students were Israeli, going to be soldiers. The counselors were Israeli soldiers, and then there was us who were from out of the country wanting to learn about Israel. And some of the students that I was with during that time period are in the Israeli army right now, and they're not from Israel. They were so moved by this program that they decided to fight in the Israeli army. So did
you make any lasting friendships?
Yeah. I actually wrote one of my college essays about one of the friends I met from Israel.
Did you learn any Hebrew?
I got bat mitzvahed, so I learned Hebrew then. But
yeah, but you didn't understand anything of it.
No.
You just learned the prayer.
I didn't, exactly. I didn't learn any Hebrew because they always spoke English with us. But I actually got this ring there that I've never taken off ever.
Wow.
Yeah, which is it's one of the prayers
so
there.
You were very moved by it.
Yeah, I love Israel. I'd go back in a second.
It's very interesting because my grandson just went to Israel.
Oh, really?
With a group, and he sent me a text message that it's changing his whole life.
Yeah, it's really. Did he go with birthright?
Yes. Yeah, you know about that.
Yeah, I want to go on birthright once I graduate college. So.
That's exactly what he went with.
Yeah, that's very funny, yeah.
So I'm very anxious to hear when he comes back, what all the other things, because I was just very impressed with that he went, because he was not brought up being Jewish.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, because my daughter is Jewish, but she married a non-Jewish, and they went to Hebrew school 1 or 2 years, but he was not brought up Jewish.
Wow, so interesting.
So it made me feel very good that he went.
Have you been to Israel?
I went to Israel about 4 or 5 years ago, yes. I have a very good friend who lives there, and we're still in touch. We met when we were about 14 years old, so we've been in touch all this time. And then she just, I went to her place and I stayed with her, and they took me all around different cities.
So cool.
And I met a lot of the kids I was with. Of course, they were all grown up.
Right.
But
Wow.
I was a Zionist. I was with a Zionist group.
That's very fun. I wonder.
Yes. So, where else? Now you say that you're going to the Bahamas next week?
I'm going to Anguilla.
Anguilla.
Yes. So I'm going.
Is that on the map?
It is. It's very small. It's right next to St. Bart, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. I've never been there before. I've been to St. Thomas once when in 7th grade, but it'll be interesting. And then I'm going to Utah.
And then you're going to Utah.
Utah. I'm going skiing. Yes.
Yeah.
I love skiing.
So you're very well-rounded. You go all over. You went to Israel. You're going to the warm climate. Then you're going to the cold climate. Yes. So are you doing this with others?
I'm going to Anguilla with my mom, my aunt, my mom's boyfriend's daughter, and my best friend and my best friend's mom. And then I'm going to Utah with another friend of mine and her family. They're bringing me to Utah, so very exciting. And then I come back, and then I have a week of preparing the finishing touches of my senior project. So I'll be working a lot in the art installation and getting everything together. And then the next week after that is the presentations and the exhibition, and all of our work is on display that week.
So what else have you been doing in school as far as projects? What activities, extracurricular activities have you been doing? I mean, I haven't seen you for so long. You must have been doing something.
I was the captain of the tennis team this year. So I've been on varsity tennis since 7th grade. So it's like my second family. I love my tennis team. And so this is my last year, and we almost made it very far, but we didn't. And so I was part of that for my fall term, as well as applying to college and visiting colleges, and all of that whole process has just started to end and die down. So I'm finally able to take a few breaths. Once I finish this project, I'll have more time to just relax and do my homework.
Have you pursued anything with music?
No, I have not. Piano, you taught me piano.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
I was in chorus for a couple of years throughout my school experience, but with all of my schoolwork and activities,
You didn't take up another instrument?
I sometimes randomly try to learn how to play the guitar. I can do like the G chord, the C chord, but my fingers hurt after a while, so.
Oh. But you still have the piano.
Yeah, I have a piano in both houses still.
So you dust it at least.
Yeah. Every once in a while I start playing, and my brother will be like, Taylor, I'm trying to do math homework, stop playing the piano.
Oh.
So he's a hard worker,
Yeah.
so.
Right. So what was your favorite project so far that you've been doing?
With my senior project, my senior project,
Yeah.
I think not my favorite part, but the most like rewarding is like seeing my documentary kind of coming together Someone's helping me edit it. This girl who's in
Yeah,
my
I was
grade.
going to ask you about editing because that's very hard to
Yeah,
do.
I tried doing it. I took a class fall term trying to learn how to do it myself in a program called Final Cut, and I struggled, and I realized that I wasn't able to do it by myself at all. So I had the idea of what I wanted, the story I wanted to be told, and what parts of each interview I saw to be the most important to tell my story. So this girl from Pearson, which is Sag Harbor, is helping me edit it, and we're working together to try to finish it up, and I will be done by the end of next week.
Is that the young lady who took a picture of me you brought
No,
to me?
that's another girl from my school who, Graylin, she's very helpful.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever thought of maybe teaching, going to the teaching field?
no, I haven't.
No?
In like classroom style?
Yeah.
Not something. I'm like, I think I'll be like more someone in the business industry, like managing or like being a part of a project. Like I like being a part of projects, like working with other people and like forming something that we all like put interest
Some
into.
ideas?
Yeah.
Well, that is good because, you know, a lot of people have a lot of ideas, but
Yeah.
to develop it, that's the hardest part.
Right.
So I'll come to you because I have a lot of ideas. So you
Good.
could
Come right to me. When I'm a successful businesswoman.
Yes, yes, you will be.
I hope so.
Right. So when is this project? You said January. Which date is that? Because I would love to come and see it.
It is the film. I don't want to mess this up. The film that I believe is January 15th. It's that week. It's the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this 15th,
It's like the
16th,
second
17th.
week in January.
Yeah.
And is it open to the public?
It is, yeah. Anyone's welcome.
And is it being advertised?
I believe so. We always get a good amount of people, mainly because there's so many students and their parents and people who are involved with it, outside consultants. But we definitely get a good group of people in there. It's a project, like one kid is doing falconry and he hunted a falcon and is teaching.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that's all over the Hamptons, like news, like in newspapers, and there's videos of it. So
He was doing a story on a falcon.
yeah, he hunted a falcon and is training it.
Oh,
Him
he
in his
actually
home.
has it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So he got his whole senior project was getting his falcon's license, training it.
A falcon's license.
Yeah. Whoever knew there was such a thing, I did not.
No.
So
Yeah,
very
I
interesting
always
people.
learn things when I talk to my guests. And do you think that you'd be able to, the product you're doing, that you'll be able to put it elsewhere besides in the school?
yeah, definitely. The person who's helping me edit it, who's doing most of the editing, Janny, is a young girl my age, and she is someone who puts her films on a YouTube or a certain website
Yes.
to show them. So I think that she wants to take this and show it to her
YouTube.
industry or something to get work, or
Yeah.
so. And I'm 100% okay with that. Wherever it goes, the more the merrier. I want people to see this.
Sure. You may win an award, Taylor.
I don't
could
know.
say I knew her when.
Yeah. So.
Yes, I bet your parents are very proud of you.
Yeah. Well, it'll come together. I think by that second week, everyone will be seeing it, and I'll feel less stressed out about it all.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And, well, you have to say that that picture over there, I don't know how much they could, but don't show a close-up on it. It reminds you of, well, did you also, can we also hear the music that I was playing? It's going to be on your
Interview.
interview?
Yes.
Or,
In my documentary,
yeah.
there is going to be a clip of you playing piano,
Oh,
the song that you're playing. while you were playing, and that was from the
play.
you had written
Yeah.
about your experience. In the
Oh, so
Holocaust.
that's going to be part. That's
Yes.
very interesting because my play is getting a lot of exposure lately.
Good. It should.
Maybe it'll get somewhere.
It should.
So I'm talking to the famous Taylor Cohen. Take a good look because she's a lovely, lovely person and talented. And it's been such a pleasure talking to you.
Too.
And I want to thank the underwriters, Bill Miller and Stewart Seafood and Donald Scott and the Seafood Shop and Paul Brennan and Irv Ackerman, dear friend, and Charlotte Sasso, without whom I couldn't do this show. So thank you. And of course, my hair is done by Lupita. Oh my gosh. I always have to go to the beauty parlor before I come here. Lupita does my hair.
Lupita.
So goodbye, everybody. It's been lovely seeing you, and I'll see you next week with another lovely guest.
Bye.
So how did you feel about this?
Good. It was very cool.
It was easy, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Just talking about my